Mr. Chairman, most distinguished judges, vigilant timekeepers, my esteemed colleagues, my worthy opponents, attentive audience, all a pleasant good afternoon. Before I proceed, allow me to clarify one misconception of my opponents. My opponents stated that the human resources are available in the country, but I must ask, are the individuals, the citizens of this country, making use of those human resources? If they are not making use of it, then we cannot have maximum productivity. Allow me to proceed along the path paved by my first speaker. I will present factors which impact on productivity, identify hindrances to higher levels of productivity, and advance solutions to these hindrances. According to Waterman, in his book, Principles of Business for Caribbean Examinations, there are several factors which impact on the level of productivity in business and industry. Allow me to elaborate. 1. The amount and quality of capital available. Capital refers to the tools and equipment available to the labor force. Mr. Chairman, if workers in an industry are not given the necessary tools and equipment, what will they use to produce? How can they be expected to be productive? Hence, in the absence of capital, tools, and equipment, productivity falls. Another factor is ideal working conditions. One of these is the physical working environment. In recent times, we have watched in horror and disbelief at the conditions the teachers and students of the St. Mary RC School and the Croshu RC School face every day. Their work environment is deplorable, disgusting, and filthy. Their health, another factor integral in productivity, is at risk. Yet, these teachers and students are expected to produce the same as the staff and students of the state-of-the-art GBSS, Wester Hall Secondary, and the SAS. How can they be as productive, Mr. Chairman? You can have the best trained employees, but if your employees are under poor working conditions, their output will not be the same compared to if they were placed in more favorable conditions. Workers must be placed in a healthy environment. As we all know, health is wealth. In the presence of good working conditions, productivity will improve. Productivity depends heavily on the attitudes of workers more. Additionally, if a worker does not possess the right work ethics, he or she will never produce at the required levels. Numerous cases show persons receiving training and attending improvement workshops and on returning on their jobs to do things the same way. It's the classic same old, same old. This is where management and leadership needs to step in and ensure that training actually produces a change in behavior. Another factor is motivation. Workers may be motivated intrinsically and extrinsically. The intrinsically motivated worker will ensure that the best job is done and not work just because of the remuneration. The pay will be great. This worker will complete his task because it gives him satisfaction. On the other hand, the worker who is extrinsically motivated will be moved to work not because he loves his job, but because of the rewards associated with the job. However, Madam Chair, a good manager ensures that his worker has ideal working conditions, for where the ideal is present, the expected outcome is an increase in productivity. Thus, good management is key. Furthermore, societal perceptions of certain jobs may affect the workers' morale. Children learn what they live, Madam Chairperson. Traditionally, manual labor, such as agriculture and farming, plumbing, and construction, were perceived to be demeaning. No wonder no one wants to study that. Whereas the white-collar jobs were glorified. Is it any wonder that our agricultural sector is in the shape that it is in today? Our children are taught that being doctors and lawyers and holders of job offices are what matters. Why would they want to aspire to be a farmer if this is what they believe? Have they seen the glory in this industry? Isn't it evident then that vocational education, or the perceived lack of it, has less impact on the level of productivity than our opponents would like us to believe? A most important point is the intermarriage of vocational education and academics. Too many times there are workers who are highly skilled in technical areas but have failed to give attention to the academics. They walk the walk, but they can't talk the talk. Some workers deficient in the academic skills are at times unable to write a proper application letter or business proposal. Thus, more emphasis needs to be placed on marrying academics with vocation. Madam Chair, honorable judges, I see that you are convinced. However, we must put the icing on the cake, and this will be done by our most competent third speaker.